Welcome back to Marketplace Middle East. Well, it's that time of the year where temperatures are on the rise, and so are demands on cooling systems. Tabreed is a Abu Dhabi-based district cooling company which has been in the business for well over a decade. I had a chance to visit one of their cooling plants with CEO Jasim Thabet to see how it's done. In this checkerboard building, baking in the desert sun, is a cooling plant that drives air conditioning for a 25-kilometer area on Yas Island. It is one of 60 such plants that Tabreed owns and operates in the UAE. The company cools the Sheikh Zayed Mosque, the new Etihad Towers Hotel, and the Dubai Metro Network. We arrived early morning for this interview to try to beat the heat because by mid-afternoon it should hit about 40 degrees centigrade over 105 degrees Fahrenheit. And if you think about it, you couldn't have development here on Yas Island, the home of the F1 circuit, without a company like Tabreed.
So, welcome to Yas Island cooling plant.
On the rooftop of their Yas plant, I meet Chief Executive Jasim Thabet, who explains how he's built in capacity for expansion in each location. The language of measurement in this industry is cooling tons.
This plant has an installed capacity of 35,000 cooling tons, and it's expandable to 60,000 tons.
Thabet is expanding in the region with 5 plants outside of his home base, including Saudi Arabia's holy city of Medina. In all, Tabreed, which means to cool or chill in Arabic, has hit output of 850,000 tons. The CEO uses a Dubai landmark, the world's tallest tower, to illustrate what he can deliver.
So people visualize how much is 850,000 tons. It's like providing cooling to over 80 Burj Khalifas next to each other.
In a land where air conditioning is a way of life nearly half the year, the task of bringing down the Emirates' carbon footprint is a difficult one. From inside the plant and the control room, Thabet says this technology is part of the solution.
The biggest benefit of district cooling is the energy savings. It is 50% more energy efficient compared to the conventional, the regular cooling. And with that energy savings, if you take the complete life cycle cost analysis, it is roughly 16% more cost effective.
You are the largest district cooling company in the world. It tells us a lot about the development of the Emirate itself.
Yeah, we are the largest district cooling company in the world. We have 60 plants in the UAE alone. And what's also quite unique about Tabreed is we're not only a cooling company. We've reached a position where we are exporting expertise.
So the technology is not new in itself, but what are going to be breakthroughs going forward?
We are looking at various ways to improve the efficiencies. We've signed research contracts with Masdar. We're looking at how to improve the algorithms, the softwares, and how you operate the chillers. We have plants that run on treated sewage water, and we're looking at how to roll that out into other plants. And also we're exploring how to use seawater, because we have a cooling plant in Bahrain that runs on seawater, where you avoid having the cooling towers and you reduce your consumption. So we're looking at how we roll out that also in other plants.
Is it fair to say this is an industry that most people overlook, but in this region of the world it's absolutely essential?
Yes, it is overlooked. People underestimate the cooling requirements and how much effort goes into providing cooling. Like I said, 70% of the power requirements for the country in peak summer goes to cooling. And so you can imagine if a country is subsidizing powers and waters, you can imagine the savings to the governments, not only to the governments, also to the end users, because it is over the life cycle cost, it is much more efficient.
You built this technology and this kind of model for the UAE, but you have the wherewithal now to go into the Gulf states. Why have they opened the door to Tabreed, in your view?
The Gulf states like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Bahrain, and Oman, where we operate, they've realized the benefits of district cooling, the 50% energy efficient. It's more cost effective if you have the right building density. And we're out there with our partners. We're building cooling plants in Qatar, in Doha. We've just announced we're building our 4th plant in West Bay, where you have the right building density there. In fact, we're very close to completing construction in Mecca, in the holy city of Mecca, We're building a cooling plant there, providing cooling through the Jabal Umar project in Mecca. So there's significant developments.
Getting past 1 million tons, is this a big landmark for Tabreed coming up in the next year or two?
It's going to be a landmark for us, and it's achievable. We're in a region where cooling is required year-round. The economy is growing. The population is growing. There'll always be a need for hospitals, for schools, for universities, and the governments continue to invest in critical infrastructure. And district cooling is the way to go. It's more efficient. So I'm very optimistic. Also, especially with the Dubai 2020 Expo, we see a lot of opportunity, and we're exploring several projects in Dubai now related to the Expo.
The CEO of Tabreed sharing his insights on that business. By the way, each one of those cooling plants costs about $100 million to build. For more about the program, check out our website, cnn.com/MME, and you can reach